Welcome to Entertainment is Dead. I am Chuck. I am your host, here again, for the 5 billionth time. I have with me Thomas Winkley. He's running the show. He doesn't answer.
I don't know where my camera is.
He just stares blankly in the camera.
All right.
That's all I do. I don't actually contribute to this podcast. I just hang out.
I'm not looking at the screen where you guys are. So, yeah, I also have Steve Gibbs.
It's me.
Yay, it's Steve.
Hey, missed you.
All right, and today we have a special guest, Rico Cordova, who has a game here that he wants to talk about. Yeah, let's go into that really quickly. Rico, why don't you tell us about what you do, your game that's coming out, or has it already launched? Is it on Steam right now?
No, it's actually in Kickstarter mode right now. This is a game that I started working on about 18 months ago. I was playing around with some collectible card games, and I wanted to make like a simulator for it just to see how that might work. And when I got done with the simulator, I was like, oh damn, I'm pretty much have a game already. So I kind of repackaged it and repurposed it and built a story around it, and just on my spare time, before work, I'll go and work on it for a few hours. And now it's at a point where it's completely playable through what they call application programming interfaces, but there's no artwork for the game, so you can't really it's a card game with no cards right now. So I have a Kickstarter up that we're trying to get funding for artists. I have several artists lined up. I've actually got a guy who's going to be helping me as the art director, who has done illustrations for Magic the Gathering and other video games, and he's amazing. And I actually have some of his example artwork up on the Kickstarter as well. So that's what we're shooting for right now.
And the cool thing about this game is it will be a free-to-play. When Rico and I sat and kind of talked about the game, what it was doing, that's kind of the neatest thing, is it's going to be a free-to-play deck builder. But then, using the money you spend in-game, you gain, feature votes, things like that. So what are the tiers for your Kickstarter right now? Kind of how much you looking to raise, and what are the different tiers as people donate?
We're looking to raise $15,000, and that's 100% for the artwork. Turns out these illustrations are going to run between $200 and $500 per. So if I have 40 cards to start and avatars and backgrounds and all that kind of stuff, it ends up being around $15,000. So it's quite a bit. And the pledge tiers there's several of them, ranging from the lower level ones are you get in-game currency to help you start off. You get in-game packs. There are 3 levels of packs that are in the game. The lowest level of pack will kind of give you so the idea in the game is not only can your hero level, but each of your cards that you have in your fight deck you can level as well. And so you use cards that you wouldn't want, and that's something that these are a group of cards that aren't good enough to go in my fight deck. They're not wasted. You can actually consume those to level up your fight deck cards. So some of the lower level ones are to give you a lot of those material cards so that you can just level up your fight deck. And then as you get higher into the tiers, you get more gold and some better decks, or better cards for your deck. And then starting at $35 is essentially everything from before, all the decks, all the gold and all that, and then a t-shirt, which seems to be the most popular. People really like t-shirts, I guess. And then we go from there to posters, there's a card christening tier where you actually get to name the card, but we reserve the right to make sure that it's like in line with what we want the game to be. You can't say I want my card to be named Machine Gun. It's a fantasy RPG style game. So
could I have the boner night?
That one not family friendly. I'm not opposed to that kind of those kind of suggestions, to be honest, but I don't know exactly the direction I need to go.
So you would say you're 4 boners. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm gonna be launching this Android and iPhone. I don't even own an iPhone, and I'm not really sure what the kind of restrictions they have. I think on Android you could probably do Boner Night just fine, but I think iPhone you'd probably get pulled from the App Store.
Got it.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Is like the ability to inspire the actual images of the card. That's one of the levels of the Kickstarter. Is you could send it in either an image of yourself or drive the inspiration, and the artist will create the avatar to look like you. You know, kind of a stylized character of you or something like that.
Can it be me riding on a buffalo?
Yeah, sure. Buffalo would be amazing. Actually, that would be cool.
Buffalo could be fun.
I'll be holding like a big axe or something. Like, ah!
So what kind of elements did you draw inspiration from for the card game? So I'm a big Hearthstone player. Played a lot of Magic in my life. Played a lot of card games. So what kind of elements for your battle phases and things like that, and how things work? Is there there mana cards? Do you have energy that is an increase? Is it a set amount? What kind of stuff did you grab inspiration from?
So the most inspiration I got out of like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone were primarily the abilities and how the abilities will combo together with other cards' abilities. Each card in the game actually has 4 levels of qualities, starting at Sergeant and then going to Sergeant, Major, Colonel, General. And as the quality increases, the number and quality of the ranks of each of the abilities also increase. So you can have combinations, a card with say 3 or 4 different abilities, being like one is a cleave ability where it will attack not only the card in front of it but the cards to the left and right of that. There'll be Fireball, Lightning Bolt, there's heals, there's resurrections, there's a lot of those kinds of abilities in there. And a lot of the way that was built is inspired by the Magic the Gathering. Where it kind of diverges though, what makes it not exactly like those type of games is a lot of times in Magic the Gathering, especially the faster decks, and I'm noticing this too with Hearthstone, is a lot of the cards they're meant to be blockers, kind of in and out really quick. They can die off really quickly, and to control the deck in front of you, you're constantly killing things off. And this game, each of your cards are kind of like mini heroes. They're meant to last far longer, and you don't actually have that many cards in your deck. So rather than having 60 cards in your deck, in this game you actually only have as many cards in your deck as the level of your hero. So it's as to introduce people to the game, a level 1 hero will only have 1 card in their deck, and it's basically just like a mini hero for them to fight. And then as they level up, they start understanding how the game works and how the cards work together. They get more and more. So level 3 will have 3 cards, a level 8 will have 8, and then 10 is the max level. So you can only have up to 10 cards in your deck. And but like I said, those cards will last. They're meant to be very significant in the game. So you'll actually get to see them perform their abilities turn after turn after turn.
So you kind of get a MOBA Champions hero kind of feel to it, where you have characters, like you said, that level up and gain abilities with leveling up and things like that, and you want to keep them alive. How long do you expect an average match to be?
So this is kind of the beauty of the way I've designed the game. So I did have kind of a throttling mechanism around how often someone should be able to naturally play the game. You've seen this in other games like energies or certain there's certain something that you accrue over time and then you use it up to perform actions. I'm doing something similar to that. So if you want to sit and play the game for just hours and hours on end and watch the full animation and watch all, you can. You're free to do that. It can last that long. A single match for 2 level 10 characters can last several minutes. 10 minutes probably, to actually fill the entire duration. However, there are those of us who are like, I'm about ready to get ready to go to work. I have 15 minutes real quick to play my game. I have the option to speed up that, so that you can actually either skip the entire animation of the fight and just get to the results and the statistics of what happened. So you can very quickly use up your energy and gain your experience and get your gold, or you can draw it out and watch the entire animation set, and you can just enjoy the visual aspects of the game.
And one of the things that kind of caught my attention when you were talking about it was the world events. So how do the world events play out? How do those work?
So this is a really cool idea too. I actually ran into this idea being drunk with a bunch of friends at a bar. So the idea on the world events is the actions of players in the game will actually affect the entire world that everyone else is experiencing. So this is an MMO. This is meant to be several people all logging in to a persistent world. Thousands of people can play against a persistent world, so that if one person were to trigger something against the storyline goes, there's a king who's oppressing the realms of this universe, and if he does something to anger the king might summon, say, a dragon, hint, hint, and the dragon will then kind of fly over the entire land, and everybody in the game will need to work together in order to attack the dragon. So one person triggered an event that everybody in the game will get to experience. And we're going to be doing like bar brawls. Every time you progress in the game, you get to go to a new inn at a new city, and you can disrupt and cause PvP events with bar brawls at those inns, where you can come into a new inn and you get to see the bar brawl in progress, and you can participate in the bar brawl and all that kind of stuff. So it's very much triggered around the idea of a single player influencing how the game plays for everybody else.
So one other thing I find is really interesting is when you talk about the game and its preparation. So I mean, for all intents and purposes, the heavy lifting is done. Generally when a game gets kickstarted, right, you'll go look at it and they'll have like a few pieces of concept art and an idea, and they'll basically say, we want to make this game and it's about this, help us out. Yours is really different in the fact that you've already done all that. I mean, you say, I want to make this game, so I'm going to write all the code, get the server working, make sure everything's running. Now I just need pictures.
Sure.
How do you think that's helped you in your development process?
It's been kind of it's a labor of love. It really has, and I've spent many hundreds of hours of my own time doing this, and I kind of started, like you were saying, I started on the other end of what people normally start with, especially for Kickstarters. I'm finding that's a difficult thing. I'm trying to campaign this and explain to people what's going on, and I don't have the visual. So usually people, like you said, have a front, like a visual, a UI, some sort of artwork, something that they can show people, like, this is the concept of what it will look like and it will feel like. And then there are three steps to this. There's that visual aspect, the graphics, the textures, the artwork. Then there's the software that runs on the device, so either on your computer or on a phone or a tablet or something like that. Then there's the back-end code. So this is the stuff that's on a server somewhere, and the way that I've built this was from the back forward. So the back-end code is actually the entire game. It is the one that generates the rules for the battles, for the story, for the leveling, progression, your currency. It'll do all the algorithms for figuring out how to draw cards from decks. It'll do everything. And like I said, you can play the game fully through these APIs, because all of it is built on the back end. And it's very difficult to show somebody that. I'm like, okay, this game is built, here, let me show you. And I just show them just screens and screens of text. And people aren't, they don't respond to that very well. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I need the art, so that I can turn that text into animation. And so, yeah, it's kind of an interesting way that I went about doing it, because that's my expertise. I'm a software developer. I've been doing it for years. I'm not an artist. I mean, I struggle with stickmen. So when I was designing this, I went definitely from the back forward. The positive is that back-end code, that server-side code, hiring developers to write that part of the project is vastly the most expensive and complicated part. When you go to the front end, that's actually towards the easier side. That, getting the artwork in place, building out the animations, that stuff is actually very simple to do. It takes just a few weeks, and I'm going to be working on it full time starting in August, and I expect that I can build all that out within a month or a month and a half. Whereas the back end code took me 18 months to build. So it's kind of hard to explain to people and have them fully understand that the game is already built. It's just the visual that needs to be put in.
Just the cosmetics. What engine did you develop on?
I did it on a web basis on a Python Django server. And then the front end client side code is being done through Unity.
Yeah, Unity seems pretty common nowadays, since you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
I can definitely understand where you're coming from with the front end design portion. I actually used to be a front end designer, and Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. Like getting a programmer to work with you. I mean, being from that field, you have these ideas. You're like, oh, we should totally do this, or we should make an app, and this and that. And like I knew a few programmers, and it was to get them on board to do things. Their cost is to hire somebody like that is a lot more. So yeah, it's. I cannot wait to submit my idea for the Sweaty Charles card.
So, Rico, I don't know if you know, but we happen to have an artist on our team.
I did. I found that out actually watching one of your previous podcasts. So
Yeah, so he says he's down to help you with some illustration, and
Cool.
he thinks you're in for a surprise. I mean, because one thing, like, because I was kind of thinking about it, I was like, oh, designing card art, that's probably not that much work. But then you got to make animations, you got to make, the fields on which the background and things like that. There's a lot more than just making the card art. As I started to think about it, like you said, avatars, animations, deck
Vance
packs.
Vance is in chat, right?
Yeah, he's on
Rico,
Twitch.
I want to throw this out there, but Vance draws superb dick pics. He is so good at it.
Dick
So
pics
good at drawing
and
dicks.
boobs. He draws such good boobs. I mean,
I'm just throwing it out there.
I know we're talking about family cards again, but I mean, if you could see the tits he draws, you'd be blown away.
You're welcome, Vance. I wanted to give you a shout out from earlier conversations, but really, I think going both ways. And if you want an example of what the game looks like, I mean, you've definitely added some stuff to the Kickstarter page since I was looking at it, and even looking at some of the concept art. There's one of looks like a three-headed drake flying through, fighting some other stuff.
Right.
There's like a Black Knight, some guys marching forward. The concept is awesome, and again, the other thing that really caught my eye is you talking about you hating the way that normal free-to-play games work, and
Right.
I think that
And
made it work.
I think what frustrates you about Hearthstone is like that's exactly what frustrates me. Is I have to pay more money now to experience the content of this game. That to me is so frustrating. When I built this game, I was thinking to myself, what is it that I want to play? I want to play a game that I can experience the entire game at my own pace with as little or no money as I want to pay. I can just play. There's no pressure. There's no ads. There's no constant even reminders to do like, rate this game. Would you like to rate this game now? Would you like to rate? I hate that shit. Like, oh, sorry. Can I say that?
Of course.
Yeah.
We were talking about
dicks
dick
and
pics.
boobs.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Well, it drives me crazy. I can't stand any of that. And, the inspiration of really what drives me, like the passion for this game, is not the money. Like, if it turns into a revenue generator to where I can make this my full-time job, that would be great. That'd be awesome. I'm building games for a living. That'd be fun. But that's not the motivation. The motivation is to get a game out there that I enjoy and that a million other people will want to play. And if I don't make a single dime and there's a million people playing, I will consider that an absolute success.
So if I spend money in the game, what will I gain?
Okay, so in a lot of other games, there's multiple types of currencies. There's usually the one that you accrue through in-game play, your everyday thing, and then there's a special currency that you can purchase a bag of these gems or a bunch of bars of gold or whatever, and that will be used to unlock either characters or other content in the game. Usually, I've decided not to do that. There's a single currency; it's just gold. You would accrue gold by playing the game, and if you want more gold, you can buy more gold. And 99 cents, if you want to give me 99 cents for gold, I will give you so much gold you won't know what to do with. So to me, like I said, it's not about the money, and if you want to pay 99 cents, you're going to get so much gold to buy a bunch of cards and everything. I want your dollar to go a long, long way, because like I said, my inspiration, or what I'm looking to do is not make money, is to get people playing the game and enjoying it. So that's really all you're doing, is just getting more in-game currency. You can use that gold to, like I said, buy decks to get more cards. You can use it to let your user rest in the inn so that you can gain more of that accruable energy so that you can take more actions in the game if you want. But that's pretty much it. Like, you just play the game and enjoy the game, and if you want to play it more or more often, you can pay gold to do that.
Well, and I think that's an important point too, because looking at some of the new stuff coming out, my example at the moment is Street Fighter V. So Capcom recently announced Street Fighter V is going to be a service more than a game, and what they meant by that is you will buy the game for $60 when it comes out. It'll have 16 characters, its default costumes. and everything after that will be unlockable through either earning in-game currency to spend or through small micro updates you can buy with your own cash. But essentially you can get all of their extra characters, all of their expansion content without spending a single extra dime. And in my mind,
I think that's awesome.
That's how games should be. Like, I don't mind DLC, but I hate DLC when it nickel and dimes you. And
Totally agree.
You know, if you want to release an expansion pack that's $20, but it adds a third of the gameplay, you know, great, that's awesome, I'm happy for you. But if you want to release an expansion pack that's an extra character and 2 costumes for $10, you know, I mean, honestly, go fuck yourself. Like, stop nickel and diming me to play a game that I've already paid for. And I think I think, you know, Rage of Dragons captures that really well. Plus, it's a mobile game, and I feel like a lot of mobile games nickel and dime the shit out of you. Yeah. So it'll be really nice to play a mobile game that doesn't do that.
According to the infographic, if you hit 150K, I can play it on my PlayStation 1, my 360, or my Dell desktop. So.
So what? It's going to be. I'm going to be launching for whatever I can. To start, it's going to be mobile. It's going to be Android and iOS, and then I'm going to continue to build as I have time. If I get funded well, or if the game does well and gets money, then obviously I can do this much quicker. But I'm going to go to web. I'm going to go to PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and then the way that I'm building this game, and this is one thing I really like, and there's so few games out there that do this, and it drives me crazy, is this game is completely client independent. So if you were to get on your tablet and play it in bed before you go to sleep, and then wake up the next morning and go to your Xbox or your PlayStation, when you log in, you're actually getting to the same content. You're going to be playing against players who are playing on their phones or their PC or their Xbox with you, whatever. It doesn't matter what client it is, and you'll experience that the actual account and everything that you have is going to be universal across all of your devices.
Yeah, it's kind of like Hearthstone in that sense.
Yeah,
right?
It's like Hearthstone. And like I said, I started building this 18 months ago, and Hearthstone was a whisper at that point. Like, it didn't actually exist. But to my knowledge, there was no other games that even considered doing that. And it always drove me crazy because I had like Rock Band that I had on my Xbox that a buddy had on his PlayStation. And I'm like, oh shit, guess we can't play together. And that was frustrated the hell out of me.
That sounds pretty awesome. Right. It seems like you're building it with the customer in mind, where you just want to build something that's fun for people to play. You want people to enjoy your game because you put a lot of work into it and you're proud of it. You're not out there to become a billionaire off it. Yeah. So that'd be nice. Right?
Yeah, because I believe if you become a billionaire, your wife has made my wife some promises. So get on that, sir.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, and really, like, the tiers are super awesome. I mean, $5 to get the game. That's another. I could rant for days about Kickstarter stuff, but one of the things that drives me crazy is somebody jumps on Kickstarter to release a game, and they do a digital-only version of a game, and they ask for like $2.5 million, and they charge $60 for the game. And it's like, look, you're a digital-only distribution, and you're kickstarting it. Why are you not releasing your game for $20, $30, $35? So it's cool to see that. I think when I backed it today, I threw in like $20, but for that, I'm getting 25 extra packs of cards, beta access, votes on features, plus a whole shitload of gold, and I think is it total like I'm getting a total like 65 card packs, I think, by putting in $20.
Yeah, something like that. It's a lot.
Some obscene number of cards. Like, I'm gonna spread them out in a swimming pool and roll around in them after the game comes out, and that makes more sense to me than giving somebody $20 and getting a 3-hour game or a 2-hour game or 2 skin packs or something. So
right,
I'm pretty stoked about that. What games are you playing right now, Rico? Like, what stuff are you into at the moment? When you're not
when I'm not building my own game, I play my own game a lot, it turns out. But when I'm not playing my own game, I have a few mobile games I like. There's one called Adventure Capitalist that it's one of those that you could just start the guys doing something, and you can come back to like 2 days later and just see how they are, and it's not a whole lot of involvement. I have some friends who have twisted my arm into getting the next expansion of StarCraft 2, and so I've played that for a few hours the last couple weeks to just refamiliarize myself with it, but they're going to totally kick my ass. but that's a fun game. I've been playing Heroes of the Storm occasionally. I'm finding that I'm getting my ass kicked on that too because I don't spend enough time to be really really good at the game. I don't have that much time to play, and so I'm finding myself playing against AI a lot because I'm pretty weak sauce. But those are the games I like.
That's always a bummer. I feel like every time I interview someone who's developing a title, it's like, so what have you been playing? And the answer is always about the same. It's like, well, I did play this one game for like 10 minutes, and then I went back to work on my game because, work.
That's not true. What's his name? You interviewed from that does he does that mobile game. It's Sword. It's they've done like 4 or 5 of them.
Oh,
right?
What?
They're owned by Epic, aren't they?
Yeah,
Infinity Sword?
The guy from Chairsoft that did Infinity Blade, right?
He's talking about Destiny and all these games, but I mean, when you're the head honcho, you have time to walk.
Yeah, he just like sits on his throne and waves his hand at people and then plays
don't
Destiny.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you got to remember, I'm actually working full time right now. I will be leaving at the end of this month to focus on this game. And I also volunteer teach in a couple evenings a week. So I have a lot on my plate. So I don't get a whole lot of time to play games. And the time that I would have to play games, I'm trying to make a game.
Until you get your Iron Throne, sir. Once
Yes.
Gravity
You need an Iron Throne.
Rico plays other games, figures out what he doesn't like about it, and decides not to do that in his game.
Rico,
It's true.
you need your own card in the game that's Rico, and you're sitting on an Iron Throne.
The boss card. And then
That's what I was thinking, yeah. The
and then
boss.
whenever someone's like dicking around in the game, or just whenever you feel like really trolling somebody, you can just drop it on them via the server.
Yeah. That would be actually. That's a really good idea. I should make myself the avatar for the king.
Yes. So if I email you a list of all of Lance's known usernames, will you make sure that every time he fights a battle, he gets the boss card dropped on him?
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I don't want the game to be unplayable for everybody, just for
me.
Chuck. Just him. I want him to get into it and be like, I'm going to win, and then he'll give him like a really easy battle and then boss card him.
We can see about that.
How much money do I have to give you to make Lance not be able to play the game ever?
Oh, that's a horrible situation to put me in.
A horrible situation. $1 million.
Millions?
I'm gonna pay $5. Tom's gonna pay $30 to like buy me out of the game.
He's like, man, I would hate to do that to a loyal player. You really twisted $10,000.
10,000 done.
If I could spend $10,000 to ruin Lance's gaming experience, I would probably consider that.
Lance would just stop playing it. He'd play it once and be like, this is too hard. F
Well, then
this.
spend another $10,000 to bribe a senator to make it a law that he had to play it. I would find a way. So
Thomas is rich and committed.
I mean, I've gone out of my way to send pictures of poop to Tom. So
yeah, I mean, it would just be
makes
getting
sense.
him back in life. What else did we want to talk about this fine Wednesday evening?
Street Fighter, kind of touched on a little bit.
Street
Tremor
Fighter.
just came out.
Street Fighter beta tomorrow. What? Thanks to Capcom for the beta code.
Did anyone get the Batman DLC?
Nope, I still haven't finished Batman. I will say that my opinion of the game has greatly changed, though.
Ooh, I want to know.
Let's just say it gets really damn good. The story is brutal, and it becomes way more brutal. And just because you have to drive the stupid Batmobile does not mean that the game is not absolutely incredibly well put together.
See, that's what everything I read, and I mean that's got to be based on the first what? I mean, when all those reviews came out, nobody finished the game. None of those reviews.
I'm sure a bunch of them. Some of them probably did. I mean, they get the game early enough, but I can tell you that I was really annoyed with the Batmobile stuff, and then 3 or 4 really major events happened in the game, and I just did not care anymore. I mean, the storytelling is fucking phenomenal.
Nice.
So
I felt about the other ones.
Are there any upcoming AAA titles that you guys are excited for? Batman was kind of our big one. Is there anything else?
Not till fall.
I kind of want to get the Rare replay bundle.
I don't know if I consider that AAA, but I'll be buying that.
I think it's a major publisher, full retail price.
It's $40, right? It's got Battletoads. It's got the Killer Instincts, which is going to be pretty cool.
It's got Banjo. It's got Conquerors, right?
Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, Conquerors, Cameo.
Do you know if it'll have the original Perfect Dark?
It does. It has Perfect Dark Zero. I don't know if that's the original.
That's the one that
Perfect
came
Dark.
out on 360, which I
Yeah,
did.
I think it just has Perfect Dark Zero. I don't remember seeing PDZ or just. I don't remember seeing regular Perfect Dark.
Yeah, I think that looks cool. I'm down for a bit of nostalgia. There's nothing like I'm gonna get the Destiny expansion when it comes out.
I guess Halo 5's end of the year, right?
Yeah, it's October. I'm pretty excited for that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Lance, what about you?
I'll be playing Rainbow Six. I mean, I don't know.
The new one's gonna come out.
Yeah, I'll be playing that.
oh, dude, Fallout 4.
Siege.
Yeah.
I'll be playing the hell out of Fallout 4 in November.
Have any of you guys played Rocket League?
Yes, for about 30 minutes.
What'd you
I
think?
downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. I've actually been getting spammed by Victor to play that. And
Yeah, I've got some people that are like, you need to get Rocket League. I'm like,
It's-
really?
It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool.
It's worth $20? Are you playing? You got a PC? Right?
It's free on PS4.
it doesn't matter. It's cross-platform, so we can play together.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So you buy it for $20? Definitely worth it because I can play on PC or PS4, and you can play on PC.
Yeah. You can buy it, Steve, and we can play it for free.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I played it for like 30, 40 minutes yesterday. It's just actually a lot of fun. I was actually doing the lame thing because I didn't understand how the game worked, so I just jumped into a 1v1, but I was the only player, so it was just me versus nobody in an empty arena, and I was just like driving around knocking the soccer ball around. Not only did I get like 7 trophies doing that, but I also like kind of figured out, got a little bit hang of the game and how it plays, and it's really pretty neat. I love the fact that you can, like, when you score, the ball explodes and knocks your car back across the map, and you're just like flying away. You can jump. It's got really cool like turn mechanics. You can drive up the walls.
Can I kill the other players?
You can ram them. I don't think you can. I haven't seen anybody explode, but doesn't mean it's not possible. I just haven't
There's
seen it
like
happen.
there's like environmental things that like knock you around, but I don't think anyone dies.
Yeah, it just bounces you around and like throws
I think
you off
I think
course.
there's like stuns, like slow people down kind of thing.
No pew pew, no kill, no play.
Oh,
Aww.
I bought a PlayStation TV this week, guys.
Ooh,
What does
I
it
want
do?
that.
So it's essentially a PS Vita, but it's about half the size of my phone. It's like this. It's like a square.
Okay.
And it runs Vita games. It has a slot for your Vita games. It has a memory card slot for your Vita memory card. Has an HDMI output and a USB output and a power output is all it has. And you can pair a DualShock 3 or a DualShock 4 to it.
Huh.
And it plays Vita games on your TV. It's pretty cool. I don't know if they're like end of lifing them or what's going on, but I picked it up for $40. So it was a steal because I think when they launched they were like 80 or 90.
How does it look on your TV, though?
It looks great. The only thing I can say is like playing Final Fantasy IX on my Vita, it animates really smoothly. It looks really crisp. When I take that and put it on my 60-inch TV in my living room, it looks really awful. But the Vita games, so I'm playing a lot of Sword Art Online, and it looks point to point. It's a perfect representation. Played a lot of Ollie Ollie 2 on it. Played a lot of Hotline Miami on it.
Ooh.
All looked awesome. So,
I've actually been considering selling my Xbox One and getting a PlayStation Vita.
dude, get it. Are you gonna play on the go? Because if not, you should get a Vita TV. Because the big thing is you can remote play. So I have my PS4. Rico, your keyboard's going all clicky. I have my PS4 in my office, and I have my Vita TV in my living room, and I can remote play my PS4 on my Vita TV.
Nice.
So which is kind of cool. So I can play any of my PS4 stuff.
That might be actually worth it.
But I don't have the. It's not as portable as the.
Wait, so hold on really quick. So, like, let's say if I had the PlayStation TV and a different TV in the other room in the house, I could turn on my PlayStation 4 and stream to that?
Yes, over Wi-Fi or over LAN.
Fuck yes.
Now the thing you do need to take into account is I was able to buy it for $40 because I already have a PS4 and a PS3, right? So I've got the controllers and I already have a Vita, so I've already got the memory card. But if you were going to buy it for if you buy it for the 40, you know, you've got to get a memory card, things like that, and a controller if you don't already have one. So depending on what you have, it may cost you more, but so
All right.
so yeah, that's all. I bought one. I played it a little bit.
Chicken lover, you're being a douche.
So says Lance.
I bopped
Yeah.
him.
That's all I got. I'm pretty much out of ideas for the night.
I'll be ordering the Rock Band 4 when it comes out.
Hell yeah. So that's actually, we can talk about that. So I've heard a rumor, and I don't know where it's coming from. I think they were talking about it on a Mad Catz, like a stockholders call. But the rumor is that like Mad Catz is all in on Rock Band 4. As in, if Rock Band 4 doesn't do well, Mad Catz is in deep shit.
Really?
Really. That's what I've heard. I don't... they were reporting on it from their call, basically saying that like they're banking a lot of money because they're making all the hardware. Like all the instruments is all coming out of Mad Catz. And if it doesn't work out for them, it's gonna hang them.
Dude, here's the thing. Like, I don't think it's been long enough.
You don't think so?
No, man. Like,
think about it. There's like kids like Hank's age who have not played Guitar Hero Rock Band.
It's true.
There's a whole bunch of kids who are gonna love the shit out of this.
Hank's not buying the game though.
Right, but he's gonna say, "Dad, I want this," and you're gonna say,
You're also not buying Skylanders.
Oh god.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like to a younger generation, it seemed like Rock Band was really kind of like not trying to go that route, but I kind of see that as their big market. Those of us who played it, in college are like, oh yeah, maybe I'll play it again. I don't have that huge desire to play Guitar Hero again, but I might.
But what was interesting is we were at the stop, if you will, picking up some stuff, and my wife saw the marketing for it. And she was like, "Oh yeah, we need to get that," because it for her it's been long enough, and we haven't played Guitar Hero and Rock Band since.
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely had many
5-6
drunken nights of fun playing that game. Loads of nights getting drunk and playing that.
Oh yeah.
So
that was the party, man. You invite everybody over to get drunk and play Rock Band together.
Yeah, that was the party killer for me. I'd go to people's houses to like party, and they'd all be fucking playing Rock Band.
So what else do? You stand around and talk about being an adult? Like
yes,
that's
fucking mortgage.
That's what parties are now. You stand around talking about being an adult. You play beer pong. You play Rock Band, or you play Cards Against Humanity. Like those are the 4 things that happen at a party in this day and age.
Now I just want a bratwurst. Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome. Harmon's had their 4 for $20 sale, so I got some in my freezer.
So I know what I kind of want to talk about this week. Everybody knows I bought. Sorry.
I said you're running out of time.
Yeah, you got like 8 minutes.
I got 8 minutes. Bam. So I've kind of made a hard transition to my PlayStation, and I don't think I'm going to go back for a couple of reasons. First off, I will say PlayStation UI is still terrible. Tom and I had this discussion like when I was picking up a PlayStation 4. I was like, did the UI get better between the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4? And he's like, oh yeah, it totally did. No, it's the same fucking.
I really don't know what you have against the PS4 UI. Like I
don't like it. I've never liked it. My favorite UI out of all the systems so far has been Xbox 360 before all the major changes. Anyways, that aside, things still more solid on the Sony. I hate to say it. I've been playing a lot of Destiny again. I re-rolled completely. I now have a 33 on Destiny on PlayStation. Couple things about the community that I like a lot more. I see a lot less aggro humping players that I would get a lot of on Xbox. Just randomly, you get into a match and people will be humping like crazy.
I'm all about humping. I think it's a great thing.
It's all over Xbox. Lance is absolutely right. I mean, there are children out there teabagging like crazy for getting the one good kill, and you're like, jeez. I
mean, I killed you 4 times. You're gonna kill me once and hump me. So I feel like I'm doing. I feel, but I don't know. I'd like to see statistics that show like how many children are running a PlayStation versus an Xbox. But the community feels a little older. One thing though that really bothers me, it seems like the network isn't as good on PlayStation. Meaning, like I see more games with lag on the same game on the same connection. I'm seeing more laggy games on my PlayStation than I saw on my Xbox. I think as much as everybody bitched about the Xbox, I feel like they've created a better network for playing online games.
Okay.
I mean, you and I have both played a lot of Destiny. How's the PlayStation controller?
Don't like it as much.
Really, I really like the Xbox One controller. It just feels really good for shooters.
Yeah.
I really like the haptic feedback, even though Destiny doesn't use it that much. Halo did. So was that a hard transition?
Yeah, I'm still struggling with it a little bit. It's not like you can't get over it. It's better than it was on the PlayStation 3. I mean, they've made improvements, but man, just give me a fucking trigger. Like that's all I want. Like even if there's only shooters that use that trigger, give me a damn trigger. So that's a problem, I think. But I mean, you can get over it. I was really hoping to get rid of the. I don't know if you do this a lot, Steve, but I run into this thing only in Destiny where I'm shooting and then I go run. Like it puts me into a run mode, and I'm like, motherfucker. Like it happens a lot because I'm constantly like pressing
On PlayStation or just in general when you play?
in general in that game. Like I get it all the time on Xbox. I'm like, oh, if I switch, I hope that that's alleviated. Like I hope that doesn't happen to me anymore, and it still happens. So if you're constantly like pressing forward to run,
Yeah.
then you'll go into this like shoot and then run, and it happens to me on occasion. It doesn't happen to me all the time, but it's super frustrating. And that's the only game that happens to me in.
I get like walk locked, where it's like I go into a slow jog instead of running or walking. It's very weird, but
Yeah, I get that sometimes too.
have you picked up any PlayStation exclusive titles yet?
I've been playing The Last of Us since launch.
I'm shocked you haven't finished that yet. Like, you should be done by now.
Well, he switched to first-person shooter, which is kind of Lance's good at.
I dumped it. I dumped a lot of time into Destiny. Like I was playing Last of Us when it first came out, or when I first got it. I lent Tom my copy of Batman and lent my copy of Witcher 3 on PlayStation to Arthur, and I haven't finished The Last of Us yet. I've been like, I picked up Journey. Oh yeah, Journey just launched this week.
I think he just ported it over, yeah.
Yeah, they just ported it over this week, and I hadn't finished that yet. I had it on PlayStation, so I got it for free. I had it on PlayStation 3, so I got that for free. I want to play through that. It's really tough for me to finish single-player games, so I'm really bad about that.
So there's someone developed this site. It's called wastedondestiny.com, and you can put in your gamer tags. So on Xbox, as you say farewell to Xbox, you spent 566 hours on characters you currently have, and on deleted characters you have 203 hours. So you have a total of 769 hours on Xbox. But something that's interesting is the top 8 players in Destiny are all PlayStation, and so is the 10th person.
I believe that. So I will say the PlayStation exclusive content.
Have you gotten any of those guns? The 3?
No, I haven't got the guns yet. But I was gonna say I've noticed the playlists are a lot more fluid. So like you get into a playlist for strikes or playlist for PvP, and it seems like you don't get stuck as much. Like I almost feel like their coding is fucked for the Xbox because they've taken out those levels that.
Yeah, I think you probably have a much more loyal fan base on Destiny on PlayStation, because like you said, you get the teabaggers and stuff on Xbox. A lot of those kids who play first-person shooters have probably moved on to the next one, the Battlefield or Halo or whatever. They probably all kind of migrate to each AAA shooter as it comes out. Where on PlayStation, you probably have a much more dedicated community. So more players would be my guess on PlayStation.
I won't lie, I'm really tempted to do stuff like even those community games like Battlefield or Battlefront that's coming out. Star Wars Battlefront, I'll be playing that in the fall. I'm really tempted to get it on PlayStation. Not to mention the frame rate's higher and the dimensions. So
I heard it's even higher on PC.
Well, yeah, but PC Master Waste. Oh, I said.
I think we got you recorded saying you were going to buy a new PC. So
Yeah, I think we do. I mean,
I think we have actual proof of you saying you wanted a newer, bigger, better PC. So.
Oh yeah, the show wasn't on, so you didn't get it.
No, I was screen capturing.
Bitch.
okay, I'm ready for sleep. Are we ready for sleep?
Tom's tired.
Rico, you ready to go night-night?
I think I can pull that off.
All right, man.
All right, so Rico, really quickly, can you recap where we can find your game, what your Twitter handles are, what's your social medias. Plug it now.
All right, you can go to rageofdragonsgame.com. That's the actual website that is promoting the game. You can get links from there to the Kickstarter. You could follow Rage of Dragons at RODRSB on Twitter. And I also, there's a Facebook page, Rage of Dragons, and it's constantly being updated with, I'm getting sketches from artists and all sorts of stuff. So we're constantly updating stuff.
Cool. And make sure to check us all out on Twitter. You've got at Chuck Sweat, at Steve Gibbs, at Thomas Winkley, at EID Podcast. Go to iTunes and rate us. Go to YouTube and throw us a comment. We'll try to read it and get back to you, but I'll be honest, we're real terrible about that. And send us emails, feedback@entertainmentisdead.com. Crap, you can send us a strings of swearing if you want. We'll probably read it.
Also, we have narrowed down our dates for the Lupus charity event. It is going to be the 18th to 19th of September. For anybody living in Salt Lake, which this is pretty much a locals thing, the Comic-Con is the week after. So we do have Comic-Con as a sponsor for sure. Yep. Newmont University is where we're going to be broadcasting everything from.
They're putting us up. They're being gracious and giving us a room and a fat internet pipe to stream out of, so that'll be sweet.
Expect some really big sponsors coming out of this. We have talked to Nintendo. Haven't really got a hold of a few other people yet, but expect some stuff that comes out.
A lot of good stuff in the works, and it's all going to a local cause. Remember, so September 18th to the 19th, I believe we're going to start at 8 p.m. and finish at 8 p.m., so 24 hours, and it'll be on our Twitch channel among multiple others. There'll probably be at least 6 Twitch channels running various games with all kinds of cool stuff happening. So look up the Lupus Foundation in Utah if you want to know what we're working towards, and we'll start getting links out to that pretty soon. Cool. Thanks again for being on, Rico.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.